Fuck. Neuronymous.
Hey, boys and girls, this is Hal. How are you doing, my fellow neurotics? Got another short episode of Neuronymous. I haven't done a solo track for a little while, and I just wanted to check in with you guys. I've been going through some pretty bad depression. I know there are a lot of people out there that think, oh, suck it up, or, just, you can do this, or, just man up, or just, get over it, but, like, the thing about depression is it's not unlike alcoholism. It's cunning, it's baffling, it's powerful. I just need, I don't know, I just feel like lost, and I'm at work, and I'm just like, what am I doing here? Not my job. I mean, my job is fine. I mean, I'm not unhappy with my job. I mean, granted, I had other dreams besides working in customer service, but, I just, I'm down, man. I'm just down. And, I don't know, like, there's been part of me that's really, I'm not on the verge of relapse or anything like that. I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to, but, like, part of me really, really wants to smoke pot again. And I'm being completely honest because that's how I roll, and that's, so to speak. But I'm not going to do that. I have, over 9 years of, almost 9 years of clean time, but it's always one day at a time. No, I'm not ending the show now. It's not that short. So anyway, I'm taking a trip to Omaha, and my wife and I feel like we've been arguing a lot. We've been fighting a lot over things ever since the puppy things happened, where we had the litter of shit weasels that we had. I say that as a term of endearment, not as a term of, like, admonishing them. I thought, I fell in love with them, but they're still my little shit weasels that they got adopted out. And the thing is, it really hurts arguing with my mom. Oh, wow, Freudian slip. It really hurts arguing with my wife because she's, I love her, and it sucks having to constantly be at ends with her, and I feel like sometimes I'm a shitty husband. I mean, she's a really good wife. She does most of the stuff around here. I just kind of sit here like a blob half the time. I don't really feel like I contribute much to this marriage. Sometimes to this life. I don't know. But yeah, I just, I feel lost, and I'm scared, and this is the worst depression I think I've felt in a really long time, and I'm on my meds, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be kind of a rambly one, so I apologize in advance, but, I really wish I could just put my finger on B and say, that's it, that's what's getting me down. But I can't, because I've got all this, again, it's a storm of emotions and feelings and probably hormones, and I don't know, I wish I could just snap out of it, I wish I could do that, but I can't, and so I'm taking a trip to Omaha. I'm taking a trip by myself, see some friends, and my wife thinks it's because I want to get away from her. And I mean, I don't want to get away. I mean, I think it's always a good time to get some separation time, for me, especially if you're in depression. It's good to be surrounded by people you love, but sometimes it's also good to kind of go back to your roots, and just go to the beginning and kind of retrace where you started from, So, I'm not really away from my wife. Amanda, I'm not running away from you. If you do listen to this, I'm not running away from you. I'm running away from me, because I don't know what to do anymore. I just feel like I'm useless. Like I don't feel like I add and I can, like I said, I don't feel like I'm contributing anything. I mean, I'm glad I have this podcast, I'm passionate about it, but I feel like I've been letting it slide, and I don't want to do a half-assed job, and I am a perfectionist when it comes to this stuff, but I don't know. I don't know how to slap myself back into hypermanic hell mode. I wish I was manic. I always talk about my psychiatrist is always like, "Are you manic right now? Are you manic?" Right now, no. I am the opposite of manic. I am not manic at all. So if there's any way to get me back to manic, that'd be fantastic. Anyway, but yeah, this trip to Omaha is more. I'm just running away from me. I need to get away from Mankato Hal, and go back to Omaha Hal, minus the drugs. I just need to get away. And my wife has suggested numerous other ideas as far as getting some alone time, and the thing is, sometimes you just have to go home, and it seems like a really shitty thing to do to my wife, just being like, yeah, by the way, I'm leaving for a weekend, and I'm really scared that she's afraid that I'm not coming back. She says she's not fearful that I'm not coming back. I'm coming back, but at the same time, I just, I really just, I just need I need a retreat. And luckily there's something for a 12-step group that's coming up that called the Buffalo Retreat, for a 12-step program that I go to, one of the many that I sometimes go to. But yeah, this is a downer. Yeah. What else can we talk about? What else is happening? Yeah, I finally saw Star is Born, as I think I talked about with Darcy, and ever since I heard the soundtrack for the first time before I saw the movie, several months before I saw the movie, I listened to the soundtrack and I was just like, wow, that Lady Gaga is really something. And and I actually said to somebody, she's like our Madonna, like the Madonna of this generation. And you know what? I take that back, because I feel like it's kind of insulting. It's damning with faint praise, because here's the deal. Like, I like Madonna. Don't get me wrong. I like her. I like a lot of her music. But most of the music that she didn't write it. Patrick Leonard wrote it. I mean, some of her best stuff she didn't write. Lady Gaga, and the other thing about Madonna is she's got a pretty good voice. It's decent. I mean, it's nothing like out of this world. I mean, she can sing a tune, and clearly she knows how to dance. I mean, although she's in her 60s now, I don't know how much more maybe I shouldn't say that. All the people who listen to this that are in their 60s, I'm sure you can dance. As far as like Britney beer style dancing, that is a different story. But this Lady Gaga, I've been obsessed with her. I think she's not only she's beautiful in and out. I mean, she's just got this amazing soul. She's completely pro LGBTQ plus. And she can act, and she just and she can, and her voice is just so rich, and I love her voice. It's so it can be smooth and beautiful and ethereal, and sometimes it's just rough, and just sexy, and just it's really sexy music, and so I mean, I guess if anything, if I had to compare her to anybody, it'd be Cher. I think she's this generation's Cher, because Cher can act. Madonna, not so much. I mean, I haven't seen too much stuff with Madonna. I saw Dick Tracy. That was all I needed to see. She's not an actress, all right? She was in A League of Their Own. She played basically the same character. She played the sex pot, whatever. But, I watched A Star is Born, and I saw an actress. I saw somebody who is willing and able to lose all the affectations that she carries, I mean, this is coming from a woman who wore a costume that was made out of meat, like steaks. I don't know. It was, even I'll admit, I was just like, yeah, a little much. But take away all that stuff, and she's just fantastic. I mean, she's really got it. And Cher's the same way. I mean, Cher won the Best Actress Oscar for Moonstruck, deservedly so. And I'm really pulling for Lady Gaga to win. I don't know if she will. I think this might unfortunately be Glenn Close's win. And I like Glenn Close. I like her. But I feel like that's just I don't know. It feels like it's one of those, well, she's been nominated a gazillion times. Let's just give it to her, And Darcy Wennis and I talked about this, on a previous episode, a few weeks ago. But I'm really pulling for Gaga. She's probably going to win Best Original Song. But, I can't think of one movie this last year that moved me to tears. And not just because it was, out of sadness, but the scene where Lady Gaga as her character Allie and Bradley Cooper's character Jackson Maines, when she comes on and gets that confidence and comes on and they sing The Shallow, that wasn't just oh, let's sing a song. That was pure cinematic it was glorious, and so yeah, I don't really know how I got on this tangent about because I was depressed. But I find that when I've been listening to Lady Gaga, I feel less depressed. And I, her songs are just so upbeat, and just you can just want to dance to them, and just break out and just swivel your hips and kick your feet out. And well, that's how I dance. I mean, I kind of dance like Elaine Bennis on Seinfeld. So don't. My idea of dancing is probably far different than most of your ideas of dancing. It goes, but I only have so much coordination. But and I think a lot of this depression is coming from the weather. I mean, this is the worst winter I've ever seen. I mean, this week there has not been 1 week in the last month where we have not had a snowstorm. And I could use my Happy Light. My wife got me a Happy Light several years ago, and I could put it on, and I just never think about it, It's one of those spectral, multi-spectrum lights that's supposed to make you happy. But anyway, I'm sure things will get better, but I just need to emphasize this. If you're suffering from depression, I mean, and this is my little PSA, if you're suffering from depression, don't let anybody tell you that it's not real or you're just, being a Debbie Downer. Depression is real, and people kill themselves over it every day. Okay, and I'll be honest. There have been a few occasions where I'm just like, what am I doing here? What the fuck am I doing here? But I just have to trudge through it, and just I don't know. Sometimes I don't really know how to do that. I mean, I have the tools, call your sponsor, call a good friend, and I've got several of those. There are two people that I call, and when I'm blue, like I've been blue. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, and like I said, this is the short one because I just wanted to make sure that everything's up and running. With Audacity's been giving me some problems, so just wanted to make sure that this worked. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful week and have a great weekend, and hopefully I can break out and bust out of this depression and dance. Just dance, as Lady Gaga would say. But yeah, so I just have to deal with this. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it. Does anybody really know how to know how they're gonna deal with the depression? I could go see my therapist, but the thing is, I feel like I go to my therapist and it's not so much that he's not helping, but like I leave and I'm just like, okay, now this is how I feel about with my therapist. Like there are those episodes of Home Improvement, right? Where Tim Allen is talking to Wilson, right? And Wilson's giving him this sage advice. Wilson's the neighbor, right? You never really see him because he's behind the fence. But Wilson gives him this sage advice, and Tim Allen basically comes back to his wife and just completely fucks up and butchers what Wilson told him, and he ends up coming across as a complete fool. That's kind of how I feel about when I go to therapy. I get these great ideas, and maybe I should be taking notes when I'm in with my therapist. But I get these he gives me all these tips and things to tools to deal with things, and I'm just like, oh yeah, or things to say, even to position things to my wife, as far as what to say. And I'm just like, I end up just butchering it, and I end up making her feel like shit because it makes it sound like I think she gets the idea that I'm trying to vilify her, and I'm not. I just don't really know how to talk very well, other than when I'm here. And this has been, like I said, not been my best episode ever, but I'm laying it all out there for you guys, and that's what I always do, and I do my best to give you guys a good show. Sometimes shows are not always happy. Sometimes they're sad. Because people get sad, human emotion, basic human emotion. But we got to deal with it, and we got to do it. We got to do it, and we got to figure out a way to do it together, one day at a time.
Neuronymous.